In the modern boardroom, we are obsessed with the grain. In business terms, the grain is your quarterly revenue. It is your profit margins. It's a tangible output that keeps the light on the shareholders happy. But here is the problem. Many CEOs today are starting to get into empty silos. They are dealing with the employee burnout, resource scarcity, and the market that feels increasingly unpredictable. We try to force the grain to grow. We demand more productivity. We cut cost. We pivot. But the grain isn't growing faster. Why? 5,000 years ago or 7,000 years ago, on a battlefield called Kurukshetra, Krishna gave Arjun, the very future leader, the answer to this paradox. It's mentioned in chapter 3, verse 14. Today we are going to decode this ancient supply chain of the soul and see how it can save our modern business. And the quote starts: living beings are dependent on grains. Grains are produced by rain. Rains are result of performing sacrifices, and sacrifice is born of prescribed duty. At first glance, this sounds like a simple agriculture observation. But for a leader, this is a system dynamic map. It identifies four distinct stages of sustainable cycle, which is starting with the result, which the slok says grain. What we consume and sell, isn't it? Right. Moving on. Next is the environment, the conditions that allow growth to happen. Next is the investment, what we give back to the system. And the fourth is the engine, which is duty, the ethical action that starts the whole process. Bhagwan Krishna says living being depend on the grain, but the grain depends on the rain. As a CEO, you control the plowing, which is your operations, but you cannot control the rain, which is the market and the global economy, the moral of your team, etc. When a company focuses on the grain, they become extractive. They strip the soil. They demand results without nurturing the environment. Sustainable leaders recognize that the rain, which is your company's culture, your brand reputation, the health of your community, is what actually creates your profit. If you don't have the rain, your grain will eventually fail. No matter how hard you work, so how do we make it to rain? Bhagavad Gita says through Yajna or sacrifice. So what is a sacrifice? This is where many modern leaders get uncomfortable. The word sacrifice, which is Yajna in Sanskrit, sounds like losing something. But in the Vedic sense, Yajna is the investment into the ecosystem. In a business context, Yajna is not just a CSR check you write at the end of the year. It is, number one, investing in employee well-being before they burn out. Number two, prioritizing ethical sourcing even if it is a costly affair or it costs a fraction more. Number three, mentoring the next generation of leaders. Bhagwan Krishna is teaching us a fundamental law of sustainability. To receive from the system, you must first contribute to the system. When a CEO performs sacrifice, meaning they act for the benefit of the whole rather than the personal ego, they create the atmospheric conditions for rain. They build trust, they build loyalty, they build a brand that people want to see succeed. Now, what is the engine? The final verse ends with the karma. Sacrifice is born of the prescribed duty, which is dharma. Sustainability isn't the special project, it is your primary job. Krishna is telling Arjun and you and me, when you do your duty with excellence and without selfish attachment to the fruit, you are participating in a cosmic cycle. For a CEO, your prescribed duty is to lead, to protect, and to provide vision. When you do this duty purely, it naturally becomes a sacrifice that benefits others, which creates the rain of opportunity, which leads to the grain of profit. So, in conclusions, we need to become the regenerative leaders. So, the next time you look at the quarterly reports and see the grain is low, don't just demand more work. Look further up the value chain. Is the rain falling? Is your culture healthy? Are you performing the sacrifice? Are you giving back to the ecosystem? Are you aligned with your duty? Are you leading with integrity? Bhagavad Gita isn't just a religious text, it's a manual of sustainability growth. True leadership isn't about harvesting, it's about honoring the cycle. Be the leader who ensures the rain falls for everyone and the grain will never run out. Friends, look forward to receiving your comments on this, and I will catch you again in the next one.